Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I am here today with Parham and I think Greg's going to be joining in a little bit. Honestly, I don't know. But we are here today. We are going to be doing a continuation of our top 10 lists. We are going to be doing today the top 10 center midfielders in the world. The criteria is the same as previous lists, okay? So based off of quality, overall quality that you think these players have. So it's not based off of the season or the form or anything like that. And they have to be a CM on transfer market. That being said, I will let you know who submitted their lists, okay? It is me, Parsa, Parham, Greg, Serge, and Naeem. We had only six people submit their lists for
absentees, bro.
A lot of those mans are in Thailand, Vietnam right now. You know, they're dealing with some I don't even want to say it.
We're not gonna say it. It's family friendly.
I'm not gonna say it, no.
Yeah. But those brothers are busy right now, bro. So
those mans making different lists, bro.
Crazy, bro. Those mans are playing with different balls, bro, right now. But okay, so in total we have 17 players, basically. Okay. Now that being said, 1 to 10, no ties or anything like that. Honorable mentions as always, and then we are gonna go to our top 10. That being said, let's start. Okay. 1 point. We have 2 players that finished in with 1 point. So the first player is Tielemans. The only person that had Tielemans in there was Parsa.
Wow.
Parsa, talk to me about Tielemans.
Bro,
real quick.
Honestly, like, give me a second to, like, you know, like, take this in. I'm actually kind of surprised. Like, I'm curious, did you guys even consider him for a second to put him?
Not at all.
I didn't.
Not at all.
Really, bro?
No.
Okay, fair. I mean, I think he's been one of the better CMs in, like, Premier League. Aston Villa has been great, especially for the amount of money they spent. Like, if you look at, like, money spent and, like, how they're performing, they're, like, one of the better teams out there in the league right now. And I think Yuri Tielemans, in a lot of ways, is kind of like the Pedri of that team. I really like the way he carries the ball, bro. He's been really he's amazing at ball distribution on that team. Also, like, defensively, he's pretty decent. Man, these guys are like, we're top 5 contenders. They still can, but I think they wouldn't be able to do it without Yuri. He really is the heart of that team.
The next player that had 1 point was my little pitbull, Gavi. I'm the only one who had him in. I had him in at number 10. I love the brother. He's coming back from, well, he's been back for a few months now, but from a big ACL injury. And honestly, he's been doing a thing, bro. Like, I think he needs to pick up his form a little bit still, but I think slowly, with a fully fit season next year, I think we are going to see the best of Gavi. In my opinion, a complete midfielder, can do the defending, could do the attacking as well. He's the type of player that you want on your team, bro. Like, someone that will die for the badge, you know? And those type of players are kind of rare nowadays, I would say. You know, back in the day, it was like, like Keane, Vieira, right? Like, you know, like mans, like, literally that will die for the badge. And he's that type of player. We are going to continue with the players that ended up with 2 points. There were 2 players that ended up with 2 points. I will let you know who the first player was. The first player was Enzo Fernandez. And
no way, bro. Why you
guys
the only player.
Come on.
Damn. That's crazy.
Only Parham had Enzo Fernandez in there. Quickly about it.
Damn, bro. I did that to be nice, too. I figured he was going to be on more lists. That's crazy. All right, chill.
Crazy. You got anything to say about that, brother?
I mean, bro, like, I know that the Chelsea season's been pretty underwhelming, but, like, when I was looking at all my players that I had, was considering, I'm just kind of like, you know, he's in his prime, peak of his powers. I mean, when I look at a lot of these midfielders, like, they perform really well and they kind of do a lot of the same things. I try to see ones that do it with, like, flair and just with a lot of comfort. And I think him just also having more attacking prowess just makes him, more likable to watch. But I don't know. I think he's still a top 10 midfielder. I'm quite surprised to hear that he's not.
He's a World Cup merchant.
But anyways, Parham, we're actually going to stick with you because the other player that ended up with 2 points is Modric. And only 2 people had him in there.
No way, you had Modric, bro.
So
I had Modric. Yeah.
Parham had him in at 10th, and Naeem also had him in at 10th. Parham, what'd you have?
Yeah, bro. I was at 10. I'm like, okay. I'm looking at all these guys, and yes, there's probably, you know, players that are more in their prime that are going to produce more. But I gave it to Modric just purely off of, like, status and just, you know, like, what he's done in the game, and, you know, he's obviously not going to be around much longer. So if there's any chance to, like, give him his props, it'll probably be now. And yeah, man, he's a Ballon d'Or winner. I don't know. I'm going to put him on the list. Just why not? Because I feel like it.
Bro, like, that man is like way beyond his prime, bro. At this point, it's kind of like
He's pretty washed. I won't lie.
yeah,
He can't,
bro, like
he can't even play 45 minutes.
no,
bro,
bro,
I'll be honest with you.
no, he can't.
He's cooked. He's cooked. But I'm not.
It was either Modric or Marino, maybe for me. But Marino's kind of doing the striker bit. Modric, I don't know. If I was to base it off form, absolutely not. I would not give it to him for what he's done this year. But over his career, I had to
All I know
give
is
him some props.
I haven't heard the ages like fine wine in a minute. I can't lie. It's only when he does a Trivela pass, that's it. But when he has stinkers and stickers, no one brings that brother up. The longevity goes out the window. But anyways, I rate it. I rate it for what he's done for footy. I rate it.
Yeah.
Honorable. All right, we are going to go now to a player that ended up with 4 points. This time, we are going to go to Parsa because he was the only man that had this player in at 7th. We have Fabian Ruiz. Parsa, what do you have?
What, bro?
Bro, that PSG mid is crazy,
that's
bro.
wild.
Like,
Come on,
did
bro.
we watch Spain's games here or no?
Bro.
Yeah, we did.
But
How
7 is wild.
How
man.
big? No, like how big was he? How big was he for those games?
he was
at
big.
Spain,
He
bro?
was big, bro.
He
but
was, yeah.
How important was he at those games?
He was
Because I
big.
considered everything. I considered international games too, and like Spain won everything, bro. So
Are you saying he's the best midfielder on PSG's team?
Well,
no, he's not the best midfielder in PSG's team. But the main reason I actually had him in there was because I think he allows the rest of those two midfielders, especially Vitinha, to be able to operate with the freedom that they have. So I thought it was pretty justified to put him up there.
fair. Can't lie. The Aris PSG glazing is rubbing off on you, brother.
Yeah, bro.
Alrighty, but we are going to continue, okay? Still honorable mentions. Ended up with 5 points. We have a United legend, actually. We have McTominay. He ended up with 5
McTominay's on this list.
2 people.
Bro, like this,
It's a
like Fabian
disgrace.
Ruiz,
It's a disgrace.
Fabian Ruiz is there, and like, oh my god, bro.
2 people had McTominay.
Parsley.
So,
Naeem for sure. For
so
Serie A.
Naeem had McTominay, and Sergio had McTominay as well. Sergio had him at 10.
Oh.
Naeem had him in at 7, bro.
Of course, Sergio.
So,
Wow.
Well, we know.
What?
So we have the United bias, and then we also have the Serie bias with Naeem. And
Clearly.
we're going to go through Naeem's list as well, but you're going to see a lot of Serie in there, But
I
yeah,
get
but-
it though, bro. They're first right now, and like this guy is scoring a lot. I feel like he's kind of almost dropping like type of like a Jude season where he's involved, but like if you actually watch the games and like if you're just trying to judge like a pure like ball playing midfielder, he's not exactly that. Like he's not exactly that type of player. But even at United, he would do the same thing. Like he drops stinkers and then he'd score a banger, bro. Like he'd score
That's true.
he scored like last minute clutch goals. Like that's just the type of player he is.
Bro, that's a Serie A Fellaini.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, like honestly, like in some ways, yeah.
St. Jude is a better version of McTominay, bro.
Nah.
I mean, this season, Jude is not winning anything this season, and he might be. So McTominay might be better.
Yeah,
It might be
that's
better
crazy.
off this season. I'm not gonna lie. Like these guys are going dry this season, most likely. So
Crazy. The final honorable mention that we have with 6 points is Camavinga. I will let you know who had Camavinga in there, okay?
that's
So,
disgusting, bro.
okay, damn. So
Nah.
Greg had Camavinga in at 10. Parham had Camavinga in at 8. Sergio had Camavinga in at 9. And that is pretty much it.
He's a quality player, bro. He's like a Swiss Army knife, can play any position, and he's reliable. He's always been reliable for Real Madrid.
I can't lie, this season he's been shit.
The
bro.
red cards, bro.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you remember all these things, and he's also more defensive oriented. So he's not going to catch all the headlines. But yeah, bro, if you could put him in at left back, DM, I'm sure you could play, CM, a lot of positions. I mean, when I look at players, if I'm like, is that a guy I want to have on my team? Will he slot in and be versatile and fit in a lot of roles? And like, he's your guy.
Yeah.
Versatility merchant, bro.
Straight up.
Crazy. Alrighty, boys. That was honorable mentions. So we are officially starting our top 10 list. And we are going to start off with the player that ended up with 8 points. Only 2 people had this guy in, and it is 2 of you. So Parsa and Parham, you are the only people that had this player in. All right, and that player is Dominic Soboslai. So Parsa had Soboslai in at 9, and then Parham actually had him in at 5th. So Parham, I'll let you talk about Dominic.
I mean, look, bro, they just won the Prem. When it comes to midfielders, if you're trying to think of top 10s just off the top of your head, it's hard because the ones that are super class, they really do a lot of the same things. Just cutting through the defense, those nice lob balls and into the past the back line. But Sabozlai, bro, he's got bangers in him, and I just love the way he plays. He shoots like crazy, and I think the shooting ability is what really makes him stand out for me. Him and McAllister just really make that midfield, and I think it's the reason that they dominate the Premier League, which I find to be the strongest league in the world. Whatever anyone else has to say, but to dominate that league and to be like the engine and the driving force behind it, I think he's got to be at least top 5. So that's me.
Did looks play a factor into?
Oh, for sure, bro.
That brother could be a model, low-key. I can't.
That boy, yeah, he's a baddie, bro.
He's good looking, yeah.
He's sweet.
That's crazy. Sweet is crazy. No.
That's crazy.
Yo, put your hands up, bro. Let me see where your hands are right now.
Oh, I can't right now.
Why is this guy camera shaking?
Oh
bro?
my god, bro.
Alrighty. Okay. So we are gonna continue.
Damn, you're not gonna ask me why I had him, bro?
I mean, sure. Yeah. Why'd you have him, bro? Go.
Nah, I don't want to, bro. The way you asked me.
Wow.
That's crazy.
How you
But
dissing like
I had
that,
him.
bro?
I had him at 8th place. To be honest, I didn't have him too high because he's a little inconsistent. Like he'll be hot and then he'll be cold. So that was kind of the reason. Like I really think he does have the talent to be a top 10. I think one of the things about him that I like is he runs, bro. Like he really like he does not give up. Like he has like that stamina. His shooting ability is great, but again, like when it comes to like him being a mid, like he's not my top choice. Like the way he's not consistent, I don't think I can rely on him.
Like if we're talking center mids, you need someone that can at least like do something defensively.
On both ends, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. He's more like a cam.
Yeah, exactly.
True. What type of like criteria did you guys use when you listed yours? So like Parham, when you were listing yours, what criteria were you thinking about?
I mean, honestly, like when it came to like 6 and lower, it was a lot more vibes or maybe players that like I would want in my team at this current point in time. If I had to like pick somebody, I'm like, okay, this is who I would want on my team because they're, maybe they're in their prime, they're young, they're burgeoning stars. When it came to the top 5, I mean, I'm looking at the teams that they're playing for, how well they're doing in the league, how much they're contributing to their team playing well, and I'm a versatility merchant. I think if they can play all over the pitch, I'm gonna put them much higher up, because everybody wants a player like that. So that's how it is.
A little bit of the same. Like if they're versatile, if they can go both ways, like defend, attack, and then quality. Mainly it was their ability to attack and defend.
Yeah, like similar, the combined ability to like build forward and also be able to be involved defensively. Just overall impact on the team. Like injury is a big thing for me. I know I've talked about it a lot, but like if they're really injury prone, especially this season, I took some points away. But if they're really like high quality players, I still give them a shot. So like you'll see some names in my list where I would have put them top 3 or top 5, but this year I kind of like had to discount like them lower because of that.
I did it on the quality that I think that they have in terms of. So me, when I look at players, doesn't really matter where they are. Actually, maybe defenders a little bit different, but for midfield, for me, technical quality is number 1 for me. That's it for me. So like versatility, I like it, but it's not the biggest thing for me. For me, it's the technical quality. Like Xavi, Iniesta, I had those type of midfielders, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what I'm looking for. If you have the technical quality, for me, you get more points. That's basically it. And there's gonna be some players that I have in there that you guys are gonna be surprised with where I have them. But that's what I did for mine, basically. But we will discuss. Let us continue, okay? In 9th spot, we have a Milan man. We have Reinders, okay? He ended up with 14 points. Surprisingly, only half of us had him in there. I will let you know where we had him. So Greg had him in at 8. Naeem had him in at 5. And I had him in at 6, personally. Naeem, Milan man, we know that. I was surprised that he didn't have him higher. I can't lie to you, bro. In terms of why I had him, bro, I love Reinders. I've only seen him the last 2 seasons or so, right? Ever since he joined Milan. I think he has a lot of like technical quality on the ball, but he's also complete, which is a plus at the end of the day. Can do a little bit of everything. Is mainly like a cam, I would say, for Milan, a little bit. But just with what I've seen, he can shoot, he can score, he can pass, he can dribble. Good in tight spaces as well. Like he's just very good in my opinion, bro. Like I really love Reinders. I think he's been one of the best midfielders in the world this season, personally. And then Greg, you had him in there as well. Yeah. I know that you like Reinders.
I love Reinders as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's such a good player. I mean, I only didn't have him higher because like the quality for center mids is crazy, but like
Yeah.
like you said, technical ability and ability to do a little bit of everything is class.
Yeah. Is there any specific reason why you guys didn't have him in there? Or
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, you're right. I didn't really consider him. I think the reason for that, I can't say my knowledge on Serie is as much. Like, I remember there was a portion in the season where like he just seemed like he was banging goals like every other game,
yeah.
and so his name was just sort of in the headlines, and that's really where I first learned about him. But I think just overall, like, I just haven't watched enough Serie to really see the impact he's done. So I'm gonna chalk that up to maybe just my knowledge not being there.
I actually have watched Reinders, and I do think he's amazing. I think like technicality wise, he's up there, top 10. I like discounted heavy because of the season Milan's having and not being able to see him in like the UCL as much in the further stages. Just the overall way they're performing. Like for example, like man, like I would have loved to have Mainu in my list, top 10. Like if we're talking technicality wise, I think he's in there. I was even saying like, yo, like this guy's up there with Jude. Like he's just not getting the hype and he's on a shitty team. 14th like place team, like I can't, like injuries, like I can't put him there. But like
I was gonna say you had Bruno in there, bro, as the best cam before.
Bruno's a different story, bro. Bruno's been doing it for so long.
Yeah,
He's been doing it for so. Mainu is relatively new, and I can't be just like, yo, like this new player in this like 14th place team. Like there's so many other players like that. If Milan was doing a little bit better this season, I got to see more of him in the UCL. Easily a top 7 player for sure. Like he's better than Soboslai. I would take him over Soboslai, for example. Yuri, just didn't get to see him like that.
Alrighty, boys. We are going to continue in 8th spot, 16 points, so 2 points above Reinders. We have another Milan associated man, an ex-Milan player. We have Sandro Tonali. Okay, I will let you know. I will let you know who had Tonali in there. So Greg had him in at 9. Serge had him in at 8. I had him in at 7. Naeem had him in at 4. So as you can tell, there's a little bit of bias towards Milan and Seriea players.
A little bit.
Just a little bit, you know?
Ever since he got back, he's been sick. He's just such a good player, bro. He can go both ways. His passing ability, you know?
Yeah. No, he's a very good player, bro. I'm still surprised I'm not surprised. They knew that the ban was coming, so that's why they sold him. But he's a very good player. Like, he makes a big difference for Newcastle, man.
Yeah.
Like, when he's on the field.
Huge difference.
When he's not. And honestly, like, that midfield that they have is probably one of the best in the Prem. I can't lie, bro. They have a sick midfield. It's very balanced as well, and that's the thing with Tonali. Like, he's a very balanced player, but he has the technical quality for it as well. You know, like, I love him. I loved him when he was at Milan. I love him at Newcastle. So now we are going to go to 7th place, a player that ended up with 23 points. The interesting thing about this, everyone had this player bar one person, and that person is actually here with us right now. And that person is Parham.
No, I do it.
Parham is the only person that didn't have this player, and that player is Vitinha.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I did.
Parham, bro.
I didn't do it.
Did you think it was a cam, or did you just forget?
No, I thought about him, but we're playing him tomorrow, so I'm not giving them no props, bro.
Crazy. Alrighty. Well, I will let you know where we had Vitinha. So, Parsa had him in at 3rd, okay? Greg had him in at 5. Parham didn't have him, like I said. Serge had him in at 6. Naeem had him in at 9. I also had him in at 9.
I'm surprised more people don't have him in their top 5. Like, when you watch this guy, bro, he's really electric. Like, when he gets the ball there, like, the goals this guy scores, the shots he takes is insane. Like, sometimes you see the power generated. He's a small guy. The shots he takes are insane, bro. It's like Ronaldo's behind the ball. Again, you mentioned technical ability is really important to you. So I'm surprised you didn't have him in your top 5. I'm interested in seeing your top 5. We'll see. But his technical ability, I think, is top 5 out of all the mids out there. His low center of gravity and his ability to be turned around and switch the play around is like exceptional. I just love what he brings to the team when you're attacking, bro. And like that PSG team is top 3, probably top 2 in the world right now. To not have him in the top 5 players for CM, I think it's crazy, bro.
Yeah. The reason that I didn't have him, technical quality, it's up there. The only reason that I didn't have him is Well, I had him low. I had him 9. I haven't seen enough of him. I'll be honest with you. That's the only thing, bro. Like, I don't watch Ligue 1 like that,
Yeah.
so I've only seen him in the Champions League. But like,
I'm tired of this, bro. I'm glazing at these PSG. Like I told you.
I know.
Like,
That's
this
what I'm saying,
PSG
bro.
is-
That's why I said Eris is rubbing off on you, bro.
No, it's
Like,
because their team is actually so good, and like I'm actually like kind of pissed off because like bro, like Due and like these guys are good, bro. Like these guys are like ballers, you know, like.
let's see what Arsenal have to say that.
Like
about
let's
that
see what
tomorrow.
Arsenal does about this. Like I'm really excited for the game tomorrow, but man, this PSG
Yeah.
team, like I hate PSG, and for like what they represent, what the coach is doing, and what these players are turned into is I can't hate it. Like if you're a footy fan, you gotta respect it.
I had him because I was watching PSG a lot in the Champions League this year. Vitinha, I noticed he drops deep to receive the ball a lot. Like he's deep in the build up. Like he's not just an attacking player, but like the fact he can play on the wing, you know, that technical ability. He's an insane player, bro. If it was just this season, I would have had him higher, but
yeah, this season he's top 3 for me, bro.
Yeah.
I can't lie. This season. But yeah, and then Parham, you didn't have him at all.
I mean, look, we did the combined UCL like semis lineup, and I was rating PSG super hard there. So you know, like I give him respects, but yeah, bro, I don't want to.
That's what I don't get,
right
bro.
now.
Like man,
I don't want to have him up right now.
Man's had him in the combined UCL, and the UCL is arguably the best players in the world right now.
Yeah, but
I know.
This season though, no.
We shouldn't have done this video today. That's the
Sorry?
issue there. Yeah.
The thing
we shouldn't have done the video today because I'm just not ready to give these mans their hype. I mean, honestly, who knows? Tomorrow they might shut me down or just show me what I'm,
Imagine Vitinha
what
dunks on
I'm
your
not
head,
looking
bro.
for. Yeah, I swear to God, I feel like now it's gonna happen. Maybe like the football gods are coming for me, but
no, we're
yeah, I don't know. I just sorry.
I said we're saving football tomorrow. Don't worry.
Straight up, dude. That's it. Like you said, what they represent, bro. They're like the Man City of like what Liga, I don't know, like whatever. Just in the UCL, like they represent a lot of what Man City does, which is all that oil money coming in, just getting big money, trying to like splurging on players and all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, they have a great team, a great coach, but like I don't know. It's just let's see what they can do. I don't know. If we knock them out, then we're gonna have a whole different talk about this sort of player. So yeah.
All right, boys, let's continue. Okay, we are going to go to 6th spot. The player that is in 6th with 29 points is... Okay, so I think this is the first player that we all have. It is none other than Frankie de Jong, okay? I will let you know where we all had Frankie. So, Parsa had him in at 8. Greg had him in at 6. Parham also had him in at 6. Serge had him in at 7. Naeem had him in at 6. I had Frankie de Jong in at number 4. I don't know. Hansi Flick has brought that brother back to his Ajax days. I can't lie. He's looking very good. Defensively, he's improved a lot, but like defensively, he still lacks concentration sometimes. But honestly, bro, he's great. Like the technical quality is there. You can't get the ball off of him. He carries the ball so well. Probably one of the best carriers in my opinion, midfielders. He can do a little bit of everything. Frankie de Jong versus top 7 league midfielders. Highest pass completion, highest forward pass completion, highest short pass completion, highest progressive pass completion, highest pass completion to final third, most pre-assists per 90, basically. 100th percentile for forward passes, progressive carries, dual win rate, progressive passes as well. So, like I said, he's one of the best in terms of like carrying the ball and just progressively moving the ball, right? So progressive passes. So I love him, bro. I think he's been rejuvenated with Hansi Flick. I don't know if he will be our starter next year because we have a La Masia gem coming back from injury. But Frankie, for me, he is one of the best midfielders on his day. And this season, he has been on his day quite a bit.
He's like the most press-resistant mid that I can think of. I mean, he just kind of weaves through defenders with class and definitely like a technical genius alongside a lot of Barcelona center mids, past and present. So I mean, he deserves his props. I feel like there's been a lot of ups and downs. I mean, which can happen with a lot of players that play for Barcelona, just with the pressure that goes on there. But yeah, man, you're right. He's rising up to the occasion now. It's pretty nice to see.
Just defensively, he's kind of lazy, bro. Kind of annoys me when I watch him sometimes. Like his positioning is kind of just like what are you doing sometimes? The injuries didn't do him justice, but I think healthy and under Flick, especially, that the German steroids and the work ethic, he can be a top 5 for sure, easily a top 5.
Class technical player, but Parham said he's the most press resistant midfielder. You're forgetting our boy Thomas.
Yo, come on now, come on.
He's the most press resistant midfielder for sure.
No, it's for sure.
I want to see where you have Thomas in your DM list, bro.
In our
Where
CDM
DM
list.
list, bro.
Oof.
Yeah. You're
I'm
gonna
gonna
cook
cook
that
it
one.
that
DM list is crazy.
So we are going to continue. We're entering our top 5, boys, all right? So in 5th spot with 33 points, which is 4 points above Frankie de Jong, we have a player that just won the league title. We have McAllister in there, okay? McAllister ended up in 5th. I will let you know where we had him. So Parsa had him in at 5th. Greg had him in at 7th. Parham had him in at 3rd. Serge had him in at 4. I had him in at 3rd as well. Naeem did not have that brother in at all.
Wow, that's crazy. Like I said this earlier, with a lot of these midfielders, you see a lot of the same things, especially with the class midfielders. But when I see it with the McAllister, he just does it with a lot of flair. It's fun to watch. He plays with a lot of heart. You can tell he loves that club, and he's the reason why they've even been led to this Premier League title. I know that a lot of people say that this Premier League title, this Premier League race was pretty boring. We had no relegation battle. We had no title race, really. But at the end of the day, that's not Liverpool's fault. That's everybody else's fault, including ourselves. And they just dominated, and he's a big reason for that. So he definitely has to be up there.
It's crazy, bro.
Why is everyone smiling?
I don't know. I feel like you got something to say.
No, I got nothing to say, man. Yeah.
I like that he's a 6 and a 10. So that was one of my reasons I had him in there. I didn't have him as high as everyone else because fuck Liverpool, but that's it.
Biases are crazy, bro.
Fair enough.
I can't lie. Somewhere I'm taking a look at our list, and there is bias in all of our lists a little bit.
He was one of the best transfers of that season, in my opinion, for value. But yeah, he's essential. He's fundamental. He's like one of those players that I think if he was injured the whole season, like road trip to City, I think Liverpool would have lost a couple of their games. They might have not had the amount of points they would have had. And I think he's deserving of a top 5 for sure for this season.
Technical quality is there. He can do a little bit of
Good
everything.
leader too.
And then also a big thing for me was he was doing it at Brighton. He kept on doing it at Liverpool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For Argentina, he does it as well. So that plus the technical quality, like I said, and that he can
He
do.
can score too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But he's been one of the best midfielders since Brighton, bro. Like even when he was at Brighton, he was one of the best midfielders in the EPL,
Yeah,
I
he
would
was
say.
really good.
So he's continued down that path, right? Like I guess you can compare it to Szoboszlai at Leipzig. Szoboszlai was one of the big names
he
in
was
terms of
really good
midfield
there.
as well. Liverpool, he's not maybe reaching those heights that we thought he would, but McAllister is the opposite. He's continued to do that basically. We are going to continue in fourth
Why are you
place,
smiling,
okay?
bro? Is this some wacky shit?
In 4th spot, 1 point above McAllister, we have Basmati. We have Declan Rice in
Wow.
at 4th.
Dude, what?
You guys are fucked.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm happy to hear that.
Happy.
One person is happy, one person is sad. I will let you know that we will indeed be having a civil war right now, okay? I will let you know where we had Declan Rice. So I had Deckers in at 5. Parsa had Deckers in at 6. Greg had Deckers in at 1.
Oh,
Wow.
Number 1.
Sergio had, like I said, there is bias in our list. Sergio had him in at 5. Naeem had him in at 8. And Parham had him in at 7.
No.
So civil war.
No.
Yeah.
Bro, that's crazy.
Bro, that's crazy. I mean,
Bro,
you gotta explain
come on.
yourself, bro. Because
Dude, honestly, when I was first doing my list, I just thought of him as a DM, but I know he was on the transfer market list, so I just wasn't considering him in the all-around aspect. I do think he plays amazing as an 8. I don't know, man, and I like me being an Arsenal fan. Yes, he banged in 2 amazing goals against Madrid. He really got the hype going back in this season, and in the second leg too, he was just so amazing, on the defensive side of things. He's amazing, man. I just want to see him prove himself more and more. To call him the best, I mean, I love that. But I just feel like he needs to. If we can get over the finish line with the UCL, then I'm happy to call him best. But yeah, man, I love him. I didn't want my bias to take over too much though, and I want to see him a little more in those 8 roles and him scoring goals and stuff. It would be great.
And Greg, why'd you have him as the best
Bro,
midfielder
he
in the world?
is.
Was it
No,
biased?
no,
or do
no.
you
I
actually
actually think
believe
he's
that,
the best. I actually think he's the best.
That's
Bro,
crazy.
I'm dead ass when I say he can do every single thing you need a midfielder to do. Everything except for that one thing, the through ball, the through pass. That's the only thing that he's missing in his game. Everything else, he has great shooting. He can carry the ball 40, 50 meters up the pitch. Easy. You can't take the ball off of him. Set pieces are there. I didn't even have it because of the goals in the Champions League, you know? Because honestly, I would have had him at number one before that. I don't know, bro. He just does everything. The fact that he's one of the best eights in the world, and like he started his career off as a center back. You know, like that's I know I'm gonna be like I know I'm gonna be dissed for this, but because it's on some tactical shit, on some Twitter nerd tactical shit, you know. But I don't care. Like this guy is the modern day Beckenbauer.
Damn.
That's I rate that.
That's
I rate
that's,
that.
a snippet,
like-
that's a snippet for sure.
That is. I didn't see Beckenbauer, so I don't know. But based off of like you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he's him.
Yeah, no, but fair, man. Everyone's talking about how to deal with Rice. You know what I mean? Now that they've seen what he can do. But I mean, honestly, the through ball, like you mentioned, I just think is a very big part of being a midfielder. I think, like when it comes to technical ability as well. I don't know. One is wild, but I mean, I'm not going to argue it too much. To be fair. I don't know why I'm even talking right now. Yeah.
crazy.
One is crazy, but Arsenal fans, so I respect that. Sure. Good thing Parham's here because I think you guys are kind of like yin yang. Like you're like down. But man, a little bit of like recency bias. Obviously, like historic, like back-to-back, like free kick goals, and like I don't think that's happened in that stage of the UCL before, or if any game in the UCL. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, I think for me it was his kind of like leadership and tenacity to like go forward and score, even though he's not really like that technical, and you wouldn't expect the bangers and like his goal scoring ability. Like when you first see him, you'd think he's more of a DM. But he can do it all, man. He's versatile. He's honestly a good player. He was criticized a lot for his price tag, especially like by Manson on our podcast, like Eris, but he's not top 5. He's not like better than McAllister. It is hard for me to put him in top 5, but I think he's getting there, and I think he can be a top 5, especially in this Arsenal team. But yeah, man, I mean, you guys are lucky to have him. I think he's a solid player.
Hand up, that brother earned my respect. I can't lie.
That's bias, bro. That's
Of course,
Madrid bias,
he
bro.
did.
He's a Barca man, bro.
Nah, but like, yo, that guy was everywhere, bro. That guy was everywhere against Madrid. So big up. Like, yeah, he earned points with me. I'm curious if Eris submitted his list where he would have him, if he would have him in the top 10 now, because he called him an agile Harry Maguire, right? So I'm curious to see where he would have him. But yeah, Deckers, bro, like he can do a little bit of everything, eats up ground. I would say probably after Frankie. I think Frankie is the best, but after Frankie, I think he's the best ball progressor, like carrier, midfielder. But yeah, he can do it all. He can tackle, he can intercept, he can play a ball. Huge respect to him. He's been cooking.
Yeah.
And
another thing. He's reached his best season in GA right now. He has 17 goals and assists. That's an amazing tally for a midfielder, bro.
What about the way that he celebrated that last minute win against Luton?
Bro, that was
that was shocking, bro.
Bro, it was a big
That
win.
was so cringe, bro.
At the time, it was a big win. We were still in the title race.
Yo, that was fire. Come on now. The win's a win.
But yeah, that brother loves the tortas as well, so big ups. He gets points for that as well. But yeah, that was Declan Rice, boys. Okay, so he ended up in 4th. Now we are going to enter our podium. This one I know is going to be very, very debatable. With 46 points in 3rd spot, we have Federico Valverde.
Oh, come on.
I will let you know where we had him. So Parsa had him in at 4. Greg had him in at 3. Parham had him in at 1. Versatility merchant. Serge had him in at 2. Naeem had him in at 2 as well. Guess where I had him?
6 or 7.
8.
Oh,
Wow, dude, come on. That's wild.
8 is kind of crazy, bro.
No,
I mean,
it's
even
kinda
for
crazy.
you, I think 8 is kind of crazy.
8.
You gotta expand on.
He doesn't have technical ability.
No, he doesn't, bro.
Come on, bro.
No, he doesn't. Valverde does not have technical. Bro, he's a PNP merchant. Pace, power. That's what he does. Like, bro, he'll score a banger, and it's like, holy fuck, he's clutch, right? Because he probably has the best long shot by a mile. Probably, I don't even know. Even you can compare that brother even to strikers when he does that. So he's clutch for that. He's very versatile, right? He can slot in different roles. He's an engine. Okay, I understand that. If I'm talking about what he can do in terms of passing, even dribbling, he's not the best at dribbling. He can carry a ball because he's like rapid, right?
Okay.
But passing, dribbling, like technical quality, bro. He can't, like, he's not the most technical, bro. I'll be honest with you. I've never seen that brother like dribble his way out of something or anything like that. Like he's it could be his build. He's like long and stiff, kind of, but that's basically it.
All right.
So I said mine based on technical quality, and I think the players that I have there have more technical quality than him. But he is the type of player that, like, you would want in your team at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I
he's
mean?
like a Gavi. He's a bit of a dog, you know? He really is.
Like, yeah, he's that type of player. But the thing is, like, kind of the same thing for Madrid, bro. I said this when they lost Cruz. They're losing a lot of technical quality when they lost him. The way that their midfield is constructed right now, in my opinion, they lack that technical quality, which is why I don't rate that midfield a lot. I used to rate Cruz quite heavy, for example, compared to other people, like even Sultan and stuff like that. I rated Cruz more than Sultan, who's a Madrid man. So that's the thing. And by the way that the season is going, in terms of how their midfield looks, sure, they have pace, they have power. Who the fuck has the technical quality in there? I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm sorry, but so that's the thing.
Sure. Yeah.
He's a great type of player where, like, if you have like a technician, like if you have a Pedri and you have a Valverde in there, for example, holy fuck, like, you know, he'll do all the dirty work. Like, it's blessed. But he doesn't have the technical quality, in my opinion. That's why I had him relatively low.
I think like he's one of those players where like I do agree in terms of the technical qualities. And you really saw that when Cruz left and with Modric aging, Madrid's midfield doesn't make sense. Like, just from a football perspective and the way they want to play, it just doesn't make sense. Valverde is so high on the scale when it comes to his work rate, his clutchness. I actually do think his passing is still high tier, not as much as the other people in the top 5 that I have, probably the lowest. And even people in the 5 to 10, I would say have better passing. Maybe even Tillmans and other players there might have better passing in some ways. But I think his work rate is so insane, bro. And the versatility he's shown to play right back this season. Jude, PR stealing the thunder, you know, making himself look busy. Vinny stealing the thunder, you know. He doesn't get the credit, I think. And that's one of the reasons why I had him in my top 5, because I would love a player like Valverde.
Look, I understand. I do agree with your guys' points on like technical ability. Yes, he's not the best. I mean, obviously, when I made my list, I wasn't really focusing on that the most. I think I focus more on versatility, defensive ability, being able to kind of just do everything, which is what I believe a midfielder should be able to do. Maybe, you know, he's good technically. He's great defensively, but then he has like these abilities that just stand out, not just in the position of like being a midfielder, but like just, I think he's going to be a legend in the future. I mean, his pace for that position is great. It's what lets him be a right back as well. And probably lets him, you know, play. He can even play up front if he wants to. His shot is insane. It's just things like this. These are things that just like stick to me that I'm like, these stand out. These are characteristics of the player that go above and beyond than like the regular world-class player when it comes to a certain position. So when I think of his shot, when I think of his pace, that stuff really stands out. I don't know. And like you said, when it comes to wanting a player on your team, like he would slot into any team and be one of the best. I don't know. He's an outlier in my opinion.
I mentioned earlier the main thing I was looking for was the ability to go both ways, and he's one of the best at that.
Alrighty, boys. We are going to continue with our number. Well, actually, we're going to do number 2 and number 1. Okay. Number 2 ended up with 50 points, so 4 points above Valverde, and then number 1 ended up with 56 points. Okay. But in second spot, we have Barella. Okay. What that means is, in first spot, the best midfielder in the world, according to our podcast, is none other than my little magician, Pedri. Pedri ended up as the best midfielder in the world, according to our podcast, okay? All right, so Barella. I had him in at number 2. Parsa had him in at number 2. Greg had him in at 4. Parham also had him in at 4. Serge had him in at 3. Naeem had him in at 1. Again, Serie.
I feel like the top 2 for this, it was kind of it had to be like these guys, man. Like, and it had to be in that order.
Unless you have Rice in there.
But unless there's like I think anything beyond that is bias. I'm sorry, like, you know, I really do think that.
Crazy. Nah, a lot of people would say though Valverde would be 1 and 2.
No.
I can't lie to you.
Man, yeah, I guess. I mean,
A lot of people would say that
Rice,
probably, bro.
only in London, bro.
Crazy.
Only in
The voices
London.
in your head, bro. Those are the people that would say. Nah, but yeah, Barella, bro. Like, honestly, Barella is so good, man. Like, he's just complete, bro. He's complete. I'll be honest with you. He's the heartbeat of that Inter team, in my opinion. He's been around for a few years at the highest level. I really like him, man. I like, potentially he's even Italy's best player, in my opinion.
100%,
So.
yeah.
Him or Bastoni, actually, but probably Barella in my opinion. But yeah, and he can do a little bit of everything. He's an engine as well. Technical quality is there. Like, some of the passes, the through balls that I've seen this guy do, there was one against Bayern specifically where it was like from him all the way to Lautaro. It was just holy fuck, bro. But he's very good, man.
His consistency is also insane, bro.
Yeah,
Doesn't miss a beat on that Inter team. And I think his technical ability has been really surprising to me. Just seeing the way like he's been involved with goal scoring opportunities and his ability to dribble too, bro. It surprised me. I think he's very technical. I don't know, man. I think he might be the best Italian player of last 5-6 years, maybe.
I mean, I wouldn't have Barella in my top 3, only because, bro.
Because of the man.
No,
the
man, the myth, the legend. First of
So
all,
the pressure
no,
cooker.
but no, man. But
Wait, what's Greg's top 3? What's Greg's?
my top 3 was
It
Declan,
was, so
Pedri,
Greg
Valverde.
is. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good.
fair.
I mean, minus
Oh, yeah,
Rice,
yeah.
that's a good top 3.
Wow.
Respect.
Yeah,
Rice, bro.
respect Basmati.
No, Rice
Respect
has
Basmati.
been solid, bro. Yeah.
The only reason I wouldn't have him there is because Inter plays like a midfield 5, and I feel like he just has a lot of support around him, like in the midfield. I feel like I would want to see him on a team where he has a lot more responsibility. I know he has a lot of responsibility, but
That's fair.
I don't know, like maybe also like I don't watch Serie A as much, so I haven't seen the best of him. But like I rate him, but I don't know. I just want to see him in a different system.
He's class. Inter's been doing great consistently for a very long time, and he's the reason, you know, like the engine behind that. So I have to obviously put him up in the top 5.
All right. Well, Pedri, bro, best midfielder in the world, in my opinion. He's generational. I can't lie. The thing about Pedri is, yeah. Garnacho tried to steal that, I
It's crazy, bro. Don't talk
He-
about
he's-
it. I'm
he's-
so mad at him, bro. I'm so mad at him. Bro, I feel like a father of like a bunch
Here
of
we
kids
go.
that are like
Here we go.
stubborn,
Therapy.
arrogant kids. You know, no up to no good. That's what it feels like being a United fan, bro.
He is generational. I actually think that he has the potential to be one of the best midfielders of all time.
He needs to win the
in my
Ballon
opinion.
d'Or instead of Rafinha, in my opinion.
But if it wasn't based off of GA,
That's what I'm saying.
which the Ballon d'Or
Yeah.
is, I would probably give it to either Pedri or Lamine, personally, one or the other. But Rafinha has the stats, bro. That's the thing. And at the end of the day, stats matter in the Ballon d'Or, right? But in terms of who is our most important player, I would probably say Pedri. You take Pedri out of the team, like literally against Dortmund, for example.
No one could do that, bro. No
Okay.
one could
Yeah.
do that.
But he's so good, man. He reminds me. The thing is, like, initially he reminded me a little bit of Xavi, but then he reminds me a little bit of Iniesta. But now he also has he has the defensive
Yeah.
numbers as well, bro. For like,
He's more complete
Busquets
than
as
all of
well.
them, in my opinion.
Bro. He
Yeah.
has. Listen to this. So possessions won, in top 5 leagues, he's actually number 1, bro,
Mhm.
for possessions
Ball
won.
Wow.
review,
200,
too, yeah.
That's really good.
227. Second is Moises Caicedo, 192, bro. Pedri in La Liga this season, most times possession 1, most times possession 1 in midfield 3rd, most accurate passes in opposition half, best dribble success rate, joint most accurate through balls in La Liga. And then, so in La Liga, against La Liga midfielders, most touches, most key passes, most expected assists, most progressive actions, most progressive carries, most successful dribbles, most successful attacking actions, most deep completions, most forward passes, most progressive passes completed, most passes to penalty box, most passes attempted and completed, most short passes attempted and completed, most long passes attempted and completed, most through passes attempted and completed, most passes to final third attempted and completed.
Bro's spitting right now. That's wild.
This is insane, bro. Like, that's the thing.
Those
And,
are Rice's
like,
stats, bro. I swear.
I swear, bro.
Come on.
That sounds
Come
like Rice.
on,
That
bro.
sounds like
I do
Rice,
find
bro.
Rice
What a
stats.
1v1, bro.
Wait, tell me this.
1v1.
How many free kicks has Pedri scored this year, bro?
Straight up, bro.
Bro, I can't wait for Declan Rice to dominate Pedri in the championship final.
we need to get. We
I
need to
can't
get to
wait.
the final, both of us first, bro. We need to get to the final, both of us, bro. But yeah, bro, he's just insane in my opinion, man. He's so good. He's a chance creating machine.
Yeah,
The
man.
only thing that I fucking hate my team about is if you look at the XA, that like the expected assists, he has such a high expected assists, but the amount of chances these guys miss from his passes, like some sitters, is baffling, bro. Otherwise, he would have double digits assists this season, like no question asked. He's insane, bro. He's literally insane. I love him so much. He's my favorite player. Personally,
Yeah.
I'm getting the Pedri jersey, bro.
Totally fair. Were we the only ones who had him at first?
No, Serge also did.
Okay. Serge is a United fan, no?
Yeah.
Ball knowledge, bro. United fans, I'm telling you. Bro, honestly, I think like in terms of him doing everything, that goal, right? Intercepts the ball, right? Knows where to move. So ball IQ in terms of offensively. Goes forward and hits the ball against a giraffe, a literal giraffe. Top corner, bro, top ins. Beautiful goal.
Yeah, that was
beautiful,
clean, bro.
clean
Can't
finish, technical finish, like a cam, you know, like that striking ability. Very good. I think it was like a first touch too. He didn't even take it. It was just like he hit the ball when it came to him.
It was,
Which makes it harder. And bro, like Jude was like this. I don't know if that was that goal or not.
It was,
like you know, he was shocked. It was like, why can't I do that? Like this is what people think I am, you know. And that just explains everything, bro. He can defend, he can pass, he can score. He's your man, bro. He is wonder kid. I mean, not a kid anymore. Hopefully he doesn't get injured, bro, because he's a maestro. But yeah, we'll see. Barca needs to take care of him because they have a gem, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I want to just say, like, I'm surprised that he wasn't a La Masia graduate because he plays a lot like you know what you would expect from a Barcelona.
Yeah.
Not just a player like in the midfield, but also a legend. You know, you could compare him to a lot of the legends like the Xavis and Iniestas of the past. But you know, for him to already kind of be considered in that realm while being at 22 years old, I think it just speaks volumes in terms of like just the amount of potential that he has, the amount of just genius that he's showing at this current point in time, technically. So yeah, man. I mean, the future's bright. You got a good one,
bro.
He's class. He's technical, and yeah, he does everything on the pitch.
But Declan's gonna lock him up a lot.
No, he will. But you know what? He doesn't defend like Declan. That's why I didn't have him at number one. No, he's so class, bro. Like he's gonna be a legend, and I agree with what like one of you guys said earlier that he has a little bit of all three of them. Yeah, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets. Yeah.
All I know is that a lot of mans that were saying Jude Bellingham is better than Pedri have turned a little bit. Last season, I remember that you guys literally crucified me for saying that.
Pedri was injured bare last season, bro.
Yeah,
I don't care, bro. But that's the thing, though. Well, we saw him when he was 17. What he was doing.
No,
season
for
as
sure.
well.
No, like the talent was always there, but I think like Jude was like a Ballon d'Or like contender.
And who's now?
Yeah, I mean table switch, right?
Yeah, exactly. There you guys have it. That was our top 10 center midfielders in the world. Like we said, the little magician Pedri came in at number 1. But yeah, that was basically it. Let us know what you guys think of this episode. We will be continuing with our top 10 list in a different position further down the line. But until then, from everyone from Footy Gents, we will see you guys on the next episode. Take it easy.